Oh, and we're back. I haven't been feeling too hot the last couple of days. Um, so that's why there's been some gaps. But let's do this. Get support from.
To your health, my friend.
Uh, okay.
Christ be praised, sir.
Greetings to you.
Well, it just means I gotta talk to a lot of people.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I refuse to fight. I'm here as an envoy, not a jester.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Hey, who taught you that?
Arm lower.
That was sneaky.
Si usted punieres non va
Who taught you that?
docentes.
Not bad for a priest.
Sacre.
You're fast. Did they teach you that in the
Look
seminary?
in my eyes, not at my sword. You fight like an old hag! Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse! Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through! You don't know which end of that thing is up!
Enough!
What are you doing?
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
All right. Now where am I going?
Mind where you're going.
I need to keep going up. Oh, nope. Down.
Why we mustn't push too hard.
Burghers, patricians, and usurers.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms has a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutar.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hunnish lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hunnish can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
Rob's the nighty.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
So I gotta back up and talk to him.
So, Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
I'm gonna be drunk. Sorry, I have to mute because I'm coughing up a lung. Where am I going?
God bless. How's it going?
Yeah, same to you.
I don't know where I'm going. So there's dice, bed. Let's see here, journal. Oh. Let's see.
I'd love to take her for a ride.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm.
Your Grace, may I disturb you for a moment?
Certainly.
Godwin, I came with the lords from Rattay.
Ah, now I remember. Forgive me, there are many guests and I only have one head.
Lord Liechtenstein asked me for help, in our collective interest. But if you'll allow me, sir, I'd like to ask you a few questions, so I'm clear about what I can do to help.
Indeed. And what would you like to know?
Good old bear.
Okay. I don't care. You old crocodile.
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with two young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hannah hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
To your health.
Huh.
Got back from gathering wood in the forest. You know.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. White cellar. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here.
God bless. Who's got
Sir Kunzlin, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you? I've heard about you from Martin.
Oh dear.
Have no fear. I know Martin well, and I know he's prone to exaggeration. Anything I can do for you?
Will you support Margrave Jobst's plan?
That depends on what it is. If he decides to just wait, then no. I can't take that risk any longer.
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against Sigismund. If Jobst doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous.
I expect you know Lady Anna of Waldstein well.
Why wouldn't I? She's joined at the hip with my daughter Rosa.
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the gents here.
To her own relatives, certainly. But I'll tell you one thing. I knew her husband, Wenzel, and he married her out of love. And I cared for him devotedly till the day he died. And it wasn't a quick death.
So it's not true what they say? That his demise was convenient for her?
Vile slander. People just can't forgive her for coming into a fortune as a young widow.
Hey, where's that beer?
What do you think of the rabbi's offer? The Kuttenberg Jewish community is large, and their support could change everything.
Or nothing. To be honest, I've no idea what to expect of the rabbi's offer.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though, didn't he?
Aye, but still he must be aware that whatever happens, it won't change the lot of his people.
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? It's not just faith in the walls of their quarter that separates us. They live in our city, but they're more foreign than the Germans or the Hungarians. Be with you.
Okay. Did we glitch? Did we glitch out? I think we did. Because there was like 2 missions earlier. And now there's none. That's convenient. Hold on. Okay.
I'll tell you, nobody has the license.
No, there's only one.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Butch.
Let's see. Here we go. Let's do that one first and see what happens. I don't know how I missed that.
Watch the holes up. Am I supposed to put it in my mouth? Wait for it to rain.
Patricians and usurers.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his... Yup, does that...
Only a...
You... I need...
Of course.
You can... I haven't looked... I can't...
So you...
If...
Maybe it's a...
Perhaps... But even if... He's...
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of that one.
If on the... May... Your first... I don't... If... The...
Visible or something.
Out of the way.
Look at that.
Sir, how...
You do?
I've...
And who is on the cook? How that?
Well...
You?
Lord...
God.
Oh, fuck.
If I... Or if I got a... Shit.
Okay. Then we run back up here. Talk to him.
Sir Bocek...
So...
Indeed.
Then I...
Thank you.
No.
Cheers.
Here...
Cheers. And
I
then
don't think so, sir. I tried my...
upstairs.
These are the best thoroughbreds east of Prague.
I'd like to check your horse.
Ha! Even
And you might not... Well.
I wanted...
you wanted.
I want to have a...
Well,
I'll talk to you later, Father. This is important.
you're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately.
We'll talk later and in private. Right now, we have more important things to attend.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20, I got on, and but he tries. You have.
You're exaggerating. Like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerate? You're whore.
Oh, but maybe you're...
This.
I can't do...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't.
I'm not... This...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Look in my eyes!
Hey!
Not at
Who
my
taught you that?
sword.
They teach you that in the seminary?
Ha!
Not bad for a priest.
Ha! No chance.
Hey. I went untouchless last time.
Hey! Who taught you that? That's enough.
And you ought...
I did win that the first time. I just went a little.
When I was... He wouldn't...
First...
I went a little crazy.
I've got... Maybe...
Actually...
What else can I... All right. It's
Only no...
older...
Leave old...
I don't know how...
You can drag...
Okay. What am I to do?
Christ be praised, sir. God bless.
You're...
Certainly.
Godwin. Lord Lee... But...
Indeed.
Your plan... Sigismund... You want...
I know you...
I drew...
Do you...
And if a...
Be
John... But...
true? And by... Yeah,
Oh,
but...
do you...
That. So...
And if...
So...
I want...
The... And... What?
On...
From the... Not the... We...
Mind where you're going.
I'm so confused what I'm supposed to be doing.
Sir Kunzlin.
You're God. Have no.
Will you...
What
Do you think...
I care if you're.
I hope...
And
So... What...
Orn.
He... So...
And is they live in a. God be with you.
Look out.
So I guess I'll just go around and talk to everyone I can talk to.
The bad news. There's some also at least.
You...
Is she?
To your... Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
Okay.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans, but they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine, and beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average, the cooks lack imagination, and I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk? Sigismund
won't take revenge on a woman. That would tarnish his reputation.
Maybe he wouldn't directly. But nasty accidents can happen to anyone. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Okay.
Take a look at that. A nightingale.
Hey, you! What are you doing here? No one's allowed in here.
I'm waiting here for you.
Oh, how's that?
I've been watching you for a while, and I have a feeling you do well to talk a little. In conspectu Dei.
Who in God's name are you?
In God's name indeed. I'm a priest, and I know a wretched sinner when I see one.
Is it that obvious? Christ above.
Don't blaspheme. It'll help you more to confess.
And in the morning, when I met him, I swore I never laid eyes on his daughter. Even though my back was scratched raw from our roll in the hay.
That's a mortal sin. Lying with a woman that you're not joined with in holy matrimony. And then lying about it too. That's already 2 commandments broken for the price of 1.
I'll go to hell for that, won't I?
You won't. As long as you repent. Be contrite. Fast and pray. 10 Our Fathers. Ego te absolvo.
I'll start right away. Thank you, Father.
Can I look at it? It's not what I wanted. No, I cannot read the real documents. Okay. Oh, man. I'm drunk. I think she was at the very top by the window.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bojek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. Yeah. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh. Rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had...
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that Wenceslaus Wayne brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy. Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of them.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
All right, that was a lot of information. Lay down. Lay down. No. I am sloshed.
Are you in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
Oh, the piglet!
I'd rather eat well. The likes of him live only for hunting trips and visiting the bar.
All right, well, that's going to be an episode. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, be safe, be blessed. Bye-bye.